In a bold move that's sure to stir up conversation among 49ers fans, head coach Kyle Shanahan recently admitted on The Rich Eisen show that he's aware the team's draft strategy could be a gamble. After a three-day draft that left analysts divided, some praising it with grades as high as A-, while others offered C-. Shanahan laid out the rationale behind the San Francisco 49ers approach. With no first-round picks and 8 selections overall, including some picks that were deemed reaches, the stakes have never been higher for a franchise that's feeling the pressure to deliver results. Shanahan's willingness to acknowledge that this whole thing might not work is refreshing but also alarming. The 49ers entered the 2026 draft with 6 selections, but ended with 8 after executing trades that saw linebacker D. Winters shipped off to the Cowboys in exchange for a 5th-round pick. They also flipped pick 133 to the Ravens for pick 154 and a future late-round selection. This method of accumulating late-round picks is indicative of a strategic shift, and Shanahan emphasized that he believes the sweet spots in this draft were rounds 2 and 3, suggesting that the first round wasn't as strong as in previous years. But what does this say about the confidence in Shanahan's evaluation process? Take Dezon Stribling, selected at number 33. Most analysts had him pegged for later rounds. Similarly, Kalen Black went at number 90, despite being projected as a 4th-round talent. This kind of discrepancy raises eyebrows among fans and experts alike, leading to conflicting draft grades across the board. Shanahan's admission that there's a 50-50 success rate on these so-called reaches highlights the inherent risk in this approach. It seems the 49ers are not just drafting with confidence. They're drafting with a palpable fear of missing out on players they believe could be game changers. The 49ers operate from an internal evaluation system that's not visible to outsiders. Shanahan insists their internal rankings place Black significantly higher than the public consensus, framing it as a mathematical bet. If you genuinely believe a player will go in the 4th round and take him the 3rd, it's less about arrogance and more about capitalizing on undervalued talent. It's a gamble, yes, but one that could pay off if executed correctly. Heading into the draft, the 49ers had tens of millions in cap space, thanks in part to strategic moves like converting a portion of Osa Odigizwa's salary into a signing bonus. The logic behind this is clear. Rookie contracts are cheaper than veteran ones, allowing Shanahan to focus on volume. By drafting more players in undervalued rounds, he's banking on the idea that even if only half of them hit, the savings will help offset the misses. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that could define the team's roster for years to come. Among the picks, defensive tackle Grayson Halton stands out as a potential steal. Analysts have noted his disruptive college tape and impressive run defense metrics, making him a player to watch in a defensive front already rich with talent. If he thrives, it could quiet the critics who are skeptical about the team's overall draft strategy. With the retirement of edge rusher Bryce Huff, the 49ers found a potential replacement in Romello Height at pick 70, who fits the archetype that's historically worked for the franchise. Meanwhile, Carver Willis, an offensive lineman from Washington, addresses a glaring need on the interior line that has persisted for years. Shanahan's focus on bolstering the defensive line with 2 of the first 4 picks reflects the team's long-standing philosophy that the front 4 is crucial to defensive success. On day 3, cornerback Ephesians Prysock was selected, fitting into a mold that the 49ers have pursued for years: long, press-capable corners. This is a classic Shanahan pick, one that may not jump off the stat sheet, but serves a strategic purpose on the field. Whether he's redshirted or makes an immediate impact on special teams, there's value in a body type that aligns with what the coaching staff has historically sought. The 49ers didn't stop at the draft. They also signed undrafted free agent tight in Khalil Dinkins, a player who excels in blocking and provides depth behind George Kittle. This move aligns perfectly with the overarching logic of acquiring young, inexpensive talent while letting competition unfold in training camp. Both Shanahan and GM John Lynch have made it clear that the only consensus that matters is the one formed within the walls of their facility. This isn't just talk. It's a deliberate departure from the media-driven narratives that frequently shape public perception. When the team's internal evaluations diverge from external assessments, the 49ers have shown they are willing to trust their own judgment. The trade with Baltimore, moving from pick 133 to pick 154, may look inconsequential at first glance, but it's part of a broader strategy. By sacrificing some current value, the 49ers gain future flexibility, allowing them to continue their focus on mid-round talent. The same can be said for the Winters trade, which turned a roster spot into additional draft capital. Half of the team's first 4 picks were focused on the defensive line, a clear indication of the franchise's commitment to building a formidable front. This aligns with their historical approach, dating back to the days of DeForest Buckner and Arik Armstead, and sets the stage for a young, dynamic defensive core that can thrive under Robert Saleh's system. However, with 8 rookies joining the 90-man roster, it's inevitable that some familiar faces will be cut. As fans, we need to keep an eye on the training camp battles and assess which veterans may be on the chopping block. Shanahan's mantra that every pick must fight for a roster spot will soon be put to the test, and only time will tell if this draft class lives up to the lofty expectations. Ultimately, if Black and Stribling find success, the 49ers will set a precedent for other cap-strapped teams, demonstrating that trading back and targeting undervalued rounds can yield impressive returns. Conversely, if they falter, the criticism will rain down, and Shanahan's candid acknowledgement of risk may become a talking point for detractors. As we move forward, the overarching narrative remains clear. The San Francisco 49ers are not playing the consensus game. They're focused on roster sustainability and cap efficiency, relying on a proprietary evaluation board that's kept close to the vest. Now, with 8 rookies competing for limited spots, it's time for fans to weigh in. Who among this draft class do you trust to secure a place on the 53-man roster? And which pick are you ready to label a bust before the season even begins?
As the San Francisco 49ers wrap up the 2026 NFL Draft, the offseason is quickly coming to a close. With organized team activities, OTAs, and training camp on the horizon, it's the perfect moment to take a deep dive into the quarterback situation. The question on everyone's mind: what does the quarterback room look like as we head into the new season? Let's start with Brock Purdy. Absent any setbacks, he's positioned to lead the 49ers as their starting quarterback. However, a significant emphasis will undoubtedly be placed on his health, especially considering he missed a portion of the previous season. When he returned, Purdy showcased some of the most impressive play we've seen from him, even if that magic didn't fully translate into the playoffs against the Seattle Seahawks. But make no mistake, his trajectory is trending upward. The confidence in Purdy is palpable, and if he can stay healthy, he has all the tools to elevate this team further. Then there's Sam Jones, who had a resurgence last season, starting in 8 games for the 49ers. While that's a noteworthy comeback, it's worth mentioning that his revival isn't fully complete just yet. The lack of substantial trade offers during the offseason suggests that teams might still be cautious about his long-term viability. Now, he finds himself in a precarious situation. With a contract year looming, Jones is not guaranteed playing time. If he can ride the momentum from last season while demonstrating his value in practice and games, he could position himself for a much-needed contract extension. For the 49ers, locking him in as a reliable backup might just be the smart move, providing both security for Jones and stability for the team. Next, we have Nathan Rourke, who missed a significant chunk of his rookie season due to an ACL injury. He made his way back to practice towards the end of the year, but now the question looms: what role will he play moving forward? The organization clearly believes in Rourke's developmental potential, which is why they've held on to him. However, heading into training camp, he's expected to occupy the third-string quarterback spot. This situation could put him at risk of being cut, only to potentially return to the practice squad if he doesn't impress during camp and the preseason. The 49ers will likely give him ample opportunities in those preseason games to evaluate what he can bring to the table. Lastly, we must mention the presence of Martinez, who spent last season with the 49ers mainly because of Rourke's injury. Unfortunately, he didn't make a strong enough impression during the preseason to suggest he could compete for the backup role against Rourke. In a competitive environment, every rep counts, and Martinez will need to show more than he did last year if he hopes to stick around. As we stand on the cusp of training camp, there's a mix of optimism and uncertainty surrounding the quarterback room for the 49ers. Purdy appears poised to take the reins, while Jones needs to solidify his role and Rourke must prove he can contribute. It's a critical moment for this unit as they gear up for what promises to be a thrilling season ahead. Stay tuned, as we will dive deeper into the next position group and what that means for the 49ers' quest for glory.
As we dive into the final segment of our coverage, let's focus on the standout selection from the 2026 NFL Draft for the San Francisco 49ers, Romello Height. This pick could very well be a game-changer for the team, especially in bolstering their pass rush. But hold on, 49ers fans, where are you watching from? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's hear what you think about this exciting addition. It's still early days for Height, who hasn't practiced with the team or taken the field in red and gold yet. However, the metrics speak volumes. He was rated the highest player according to Pro Football Focus with an impressive score of 92.5. This selection is crucial for the 49ers, particularly as they look to strengthen a pass rush that has struggled, leaving the door open for speculation about pursuing high-profile free agents like Joey Bosa. But let's be clear, the 49ers don't need Bosa. The cost would be astronomical, and General Manager John Lynch has made it clear that this team is looking to be more fiscally responsible while also getting younger. The notion of pairing Bosa with his brother Nick seems more like a flashy idea than a strategic football decision. The 49ers have already begun to chart a course towards a more youthful roster, and Height fits that mold perfectly. His profile, combined with his production, makes him a smart choice. Lynch praised Height's relentless playstyle, emphasizing the effort and tenacity that stood out during their evaluations. His year at Texas Tech was just a spectacular season, Lynch noted, highlighting how Height's work ethic aligns with the team's philosophy. Head coach Kyle Shanahan echoed similar sentiments, describing Height's style of play as embodying the playing with your hair on fire mentality. Standing at 6'3" and weighing 239 pounds, Height brings a significant mix of athleticism and developmental potential to the defensive unit. In his standout 2025 season with Texas, Height put up stellar numbers, recording 10 sacks, 38 total tackles, and 11.5 tackles for loss. He was a force on the field, generating 62 total pressures over 350 pass rush snaps, positioning him among the elite pass rushers in this draft class. For a 49ers defense that recorded the fewest sacks in the league last season, Height's addition could be a pivotal move. While he may not step in as a day one starter, he certainly adds valuable depth to a defense that desperately needs to improve its pressure on opposing quarterbacks. As we look ahead, the excitement surrounding Height's potential is palpable. This is a player who could redefine the 49ers' defensive strategy moving forward. In closing, the 49ers are making calculated decisions that reflect a commitment to both the present and future. Romello Height may very well be the piece that elevates this team back to serious contention status. So, what do you think, 49ers fans? Is Height the answer to our pass rush woes? Comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis and updates on the San Francisco 49ers. Stay tuned, because this season is shaping up to be an exciting one.